Yes, we have come to chapter 2. In the first chapter, Arjuna gave all his point of view and ultimately thought that he should not fight the war. He put down his bow and arrow and sat with eyes full of tears. And then we enter the next chapter. The chapter is called Sankhya and Yoga. There are two words here. Sankhya, the way of knowledge. Yoga, the way to make a perfect life with doing our duty. Two are mixed in this chapter, and therefore it is called Sankhya Yoga. And when Arjuna sat with tears, Krishna told these words. How did this weakness of mind come to you in such a position of crisis? It will not bring you fame, nor it suits you as a warrior. It will not also take you to the heaven. It will bring you unfame, he said. And the continuing Krishna said, don't be a coward. It doesn't suit you. Kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tekto tishta parantapa. His weakness of heart is very low. Leave it and get up, he said. Great words. And after saying this, Krishna becomes silent, wants to know how does it work on Arjuna. Arjuna continues. How can I kill Bhishma? How can I kill Dronacharya? They are to be worshipped by us. They are like gurus for us. And it's not my idea to kill them at all. Instead of killing such great people and winning over the country, better it is to do begging and make a living. Therefore, I'm not going to fight. He continued the same point. And he had certain doubt. Whether we are going to win, we do not know. Whether they are going to win, that also we do not know. But only thing that we know is that we don't want to live after killing all of them. That is my problem. And after saying so, he surrenders to Krishna in a wonderful manner. In the 7th shloka of 2nd chapter, Karpanya doshopahata swabhavaha pruchami tvam dharma sammooda chetaha yatreyasyan nishitam bruhitanme shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Krishna, I am faint-heartedness, confused about my duty. I surrender to you. I accept you as a teacher. Please advise me. And I continues and says, I don't know what to do. And therefore, I need your advice. And saying so, he surrenders to Krishna. That is the time when Krishna finds it good to advise Arjuna. The real Bhagavad Gita begins from here. So, Krishna smilingly tells Bhagavad Gita. We know he is an avatar. He knows what is happening in the mind of Arjuna. He smilingly, Tamuacha Hrishikesha Prahasanniva Partha. Smilingly he answers between the two great armies and tells them about it. He tells Arjuna, you are worrying about something we should not worry about. Ashochan anvashochastam prajnavadamsya bhasase gatasu nagatasunasya nanushocanti pandita. A man of knowledge is not worried about those who are dead. He is not worried about those who are not born. That is to say, a man of knowledge lives in the present. And Krishna goes on telling about the nature of life. 100-year span, if we consider, We were not there here on earth 100 years ago. And after 100 years, none of us will be there. And that is the nature of the world. But the spirit in us is permanent. There is one small thing Krishna introduces us. There is what is called Atma, that is eternal in each one of us. And this life is only temporary. It has a limited span of time. So he says, those people were there, they are there. Even after that, their death, they will be there. You will not be changing at all. As in the body, we become children, we become youth, we become grown-ups, and we become old, and a day will come when we will die. That's not the end. That's not the end. We will be reborn somewhere according to our karma. That is the concept of Krishna's rebirth. So he says an interesting thing. These pains will come and go for the body. Tam stitikshasu bharata, he says, try to bear the pains that comes to your body and mind, and a great man will not worry about these things, these small things. Only a man who can overcome these bodily worry about the bodily pains and other things will not get liberated. But a man whom these things do not bother becomes eligible for amrtatva. Somrtatva kalpate. He is eligible for liberation, he says. And continued, Krishna says, there is no such thing that truth always exists, false only appears and not permanent. And therefore, the truth is self, body is temporary. So you need not worry about the Bhishma, Drona and others. You have to fight back. Everything is covered with this cosmic consciousness. We are all expressions of this cosmic consciousness according to Krishna. Antavantad ime deha nityashokta. He repeated this as certain things to Arjuna because he is in pain. These bodies have an end time, but the spirit in each one of us, the soul in each one of us, the Atman in each one of us, that will never die, that was there, that is there, that will be there. So if we think that we are killing somebody, we are not really knowing the truth. We can neither kill nor get killed because the spirit will always be remaining here. Continuing, Krishna, so having this knowledge, nobody can do anything. He gives a beautiful example how the body is changed and the spirit doesn't. We leave the dresses that get old and then we take a new one. Exactly in the same manner, when the body dies or gets old, the body will be left by the Atman and a new body will be taken. We will be going through this birth and death cycle until we get liberation, not before, until we get liberation. So he goes on saying, speaking so much about the Atma, avyakto, avikaryo, and so on and so forth, which you all know. And ultimately he says, jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu dhom janma mritasya. Whatever is born, one certain thing that we can know is that is going to die. And whatever is dead will be born again, etc. And this Atman, it's not so easy to understand, he says. Ascharyavat pasyati kaschidenam ascharyavat vadati tataiva chanyaha ascharyavatchaiva namnya shrunoti shrutva pena nachaiva kaschit. Knowing this permanent thing in the changing body is not easy. Some sees it as a surprise, wonder, and another sees it as another tries to explain it, but most of them do not know what it is. So you need not worry. And Krishna changes the topic. Arjuna is a Kshatriya. Kshatriya has a duty to protect the Dharma. he was to fight against the adharma in the battlefield. Therefore, your Kshatriya nature, Swadharma, that is for you, you cannot say that I am not going to fight. You are to fight for the justice. So, if you do not fight, you will be insulted, you will be called names. Those who believe you to be a very great man will consider that you are so low, and so on and so forth. And he gives a beautiful sentence at the end. Hatova prapsasi swargam jitva va bokshase mahim tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya kritnisya. Wonderful shloka. He says, if you die, you will get Veer Swarga. If you win, you have a country to rule. There is no loss in whichever way the result of the war comes. Therefore, fight back. Saying so much about Arjuna as a Kshatriya and telling him about the Atman, he takes to another subject, yoga, that is Karma Yoga. What he has to do. A wonderful shloka he says, Neha Vikramanashosti Pratyavayo Navidyate Swalpamuprasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahatobaya. Whatever good you do on earth will not go a waste. It will come back with beautiful results to everyone who does the good thing. And you have to do the work. There are people who confuse you. People who say there are so many things that you can do, this one, this homa and that homa, etc. Don't fall prey to them. That's a beautiful thing. 42, 43 and 44th shlokas, which I asked you to reflect over many times. He says, don't fall a prey to it. If you go on asking 100 people, they will give you 101 advice. You have to be very determined to fight back. Vyavasayatmika buddhi, that he calls, be a determined warrior, have perfect control over the situation and fight back. And then he goes on saying, the finest thing that he says about the karma, how to do our work is, karmanyevadikaraste mapaleshu kadachana. Ma karma palaheturbu mate samkostva karma. Arjuna, you have only right for your work, not about the result. But that doesn't mean you must feel like not fighting at all. You must do the work to the best of your ability and not worry about the result thereof. Here is an interesting thing which Krishna wants to tell us and Arjuna. If you are worried about the result of what you do, it will stop us from doing the next thing well. We will be worried, and no. When we leave it at that and go ahead, we can be fully aware of what we have been doing at any time of the time. So he tells Arjuna, Yogastak kuru karmani sangam tektva dhananjaya. Leave all attachment, work like a yogi, Arjuna, and Samatvam Yoga Uchate. He gives a beautiful definition of Karma Yoga, this balance of mind, taking good and bad equally. Samatva Siddhya Siddhyo Samaya Bhutva. Victory and defeat equally you have to take back. This Samatva is yoga. Continuing further, he says, Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. Yoga is doing the work to the best of your ability is yoga. So do it in the form of yoga. When you are not confused with these words from Shruti, you will achieve yoga, he says. And when he says all this, Arjuna gets a question. If there is a person who is a yogi, who is a Sthita Prajna, who is not disturbed, who can do the work without expecting result, is there a person like that? He wants to know. If there is one, what is his nature? So Arjuna asks a beautiful question. Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthita dihi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajete kim. What is the definition of a Sthita Prajna, Krishna? How does he work? How does he talk? How does he sit? I want you to tell me that. And for this question of Arjuna, Krishna gives answer in 18 shlokas, which are considered to be the gist of the life for us. A Sthita Prajna is a man who has won over all desires. He is self-satisfied. He doesn't feel that he would be happy if he gets something. No. Now he is happy. That man who is happy every time is called a Sthita Prajna. And Dukkeshu Anudvignamanaha. He is not bothered about the sorrows. Sukeshu Vigata Prabha. When joy is there, he is not overjoyed. Vita Raga Bhayakrodaha. He has won over the desire, fear, and anger. Vita Raga Bhayakrodaha. He has won over desire, fear, and anger. That man is a Sthita Prajna Arjuna, he says. Yasarvatra nabhisneha tattat prapya shubhashubham nabhinandati nadveshti sasya prajna pratishtita. And again, he continues, unattached he is to all things. He doesn't feel overjoyed, doesn't feel sorrowful with victory or failure. That man is Sthita Prajna. And then he gives a beautiful example of a tortoise. How it closes all its limbs to protect its life. So also this Sthita Prajna controls all his five senses and mind when they are taking him towards the danger, like a tortoise withdraws its limbs and keeps itself safe. So he gives a beautiful example, and then he says, this man will be seeing that absolute truth of Atmajnana, and that is such a great thing, he will not be bothered about the simple desires coming later. Vishaya vinivartanta niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasopyasya param društva nivartate. When he sees the absolute truth, he is not worried about the simple desires of this world. And he continues, you do your work to the best of your ability, and that man who does like that, and is a Sthita Prajna. Krishna also tells how a man goes down, instead of reaching his goal, somewhere ends in hell. These shlokas of 62 and 63 are the most beautiful ones. Dhyayato vishayan pumsas sangasteshu vajayate. Thinking about certain things, he wants to have them. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. If not fulfilled, kamat krodho vijayate. If his desire is fulfilled, he will have another desire. When it is not fulfilled, he becomes angry. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. This anger will make him confused man. Sammoha smrti brahma. This confusion for a long time in the mind will make you smrti vibrama. Smrti bramshat buddhi nasha. When memory fails, the buddhi nasha will be there. Buddhi nashat pranashyati. That is how a man goes down in the ladder, who wants to get to his goal, gets back somewhere else, happens because of these reasons. And therefore, you must not be like this. He says, prasade sarvajupkana. Sthita Prajna is happy with whatever he has. Good thing he has, it's okay. Bad thing he has, it is another part of the life. As day is there, night is also there. As happiness is there, sorrow is also there. He goes on facing every situation as long he lives. And then he knows the truth of this world. He gives the example of a man moving in a boat. If he doesn't know how to steer a boat, the wind will take the man in the boat in different directions. But a man who knows how to steer a boat can reach the goal. Same thing Krishna uses to explain Arjuna. If you have control your senses, you can reach the goal. If you cannot control your senses, it will be something like Vayur Nama Mimamasa, like a boat in the water, it will go and end somewhere else, he says. And then he continues, therefore you control your mind and do your duty as a Sthita Prajna, he says. The difference between the Jnani and the ordinary man is explained by Krishna in a beautiful shloka. Ya nishasaro bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato mane. That is 69th shloka. It is the day and night between an ordinary man and a Jnani. We are sleeping in Atma Jnana, insofar as Atma Jnana is concerned, where he is awake. He knows what is Atman, what is Brahman. The same thing is there in each one of us. He sees God in everyone and so on. But where he is awake, we are asleep. We are away from Atma Jnana, that is Vasudeva. And what happens in this man with desires? He tries to explain. Apuryamana machalam pratishtam samudramapha prushanti yadvat tadvat kamayam prushanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kamakami. He gives the example of river getting into the sea. However flood there is, a river gets into the sea without disturbing the sea. The same manner, the desires in this Jnani will not disturb his existence at all. He will be peaceful with whatever desire that ends, and it will get dissolved. Having said so, he continues the chapter. He concludes the chapter. So, when a man is free from all fear, anger, and egos and such, which he said earlier, he is the person who gets shanti. Nirmamo nirahankaraha sashanti marigachati. A man who is nirmama, nirahankara, gets absolute peace of mind. That man is a Sthita Prajna. What will happen to a Sthita Prajna at the end? He says, this is called Brahmi state. When once a man achieves this state, there is no return from that at all. He will stay in that state as long as this body is there. When the body's time is over, he gets dissolved into the cosmic consciousness. That is to say, there won't be any necessity for him to be born again. That is called mukti in the Indian culture, in the Hindu culture. Merging back into cosmic consciousness, merging back into the God, merging back into the Atman or Brahman state. So that is the end of the chapter 2. You can listen to the summary of the chapter for some time so that you will have better command over the chapter 2 before we go to the chapter 3 tomorrow.